The Hyundai Kona compact SUV has been a major strategic model for the Korean car maker globally, more so in the European context. With the Kona, Hyundai has taken a small leap yet again, like it did with its fluidic sculpture Sonata in 2010. I mean that not only in terms of quality and design, but also perception. Yes, the Kona is that model for Hyundai. The Kona is actually 104mm shorter than the Creta in length, has a near identical wheelbase at 2600mm and sits lower since it's 116mm shorter than the Creta. So it is very definitely more of a crossover. The car's design is the first thing that grabs you. Now the color of course works for me, but I have to say it also works for the segment, because that's what the Kona is trying to do. It's trying to be young, modern and new, and these bright colors kind of offset some of that nicely. The big cascade grille, the really slim LED headlamp and very exaggerated elements down here. I think that's the whole point of the new styling from Hyundai. You're going to see it on its future cars. You've already got it on the new Santa Fe that's been released just a little while ago. Now the other point here, not too many other manufacturers have yet caught on to the trend, even though everybody's talking about it, and so it helps the Kona really stand out in the crowd. The car I had was dressed in lime twist, and it looked very young, vibrant, new and attention hungry. The Kona has a color coordinated interior. The car's cabin is well laid out, uses great plastics and boasts incredibly competent fit. Its big highlight is the modern instrument cluster and the large touchscreen at the center of the console. Easy to use, intuitive and with a very user-friendly interface, unlike the Hyundais we've been used to. The screen has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth Music Play, etc. You also get a pop-up head-up display screen a la Mini. The switches, buttons, stalks and dials all have a good sense of quality, and the seats too are well contoured, comfortable and attractively finished. I like the little green accents on the dash and seats, and especially the ones around the AC vents. The Kona with me was a Turkey spec model, and I was driving it out of Istanbul into the countryside towards Burj Beach. The engine on board was the 1.6-litre TGDI petrol, a new iteration of the 1.6 Gamma engine in Hyundai's turbocharged global engine lineup. It's not a fire starter, and the turbo does take a little bit of time to kick in, but it cruises very well. So you've seen the specs of the car I'm driving, and I can very quickly tell you that it's all academic, because of course this car in this shape and form is not going to come to our market. What I mean by that is that we're only going to get the electric Kona. The electric avatar of this car is all we're going to get. So I can talk about its attributes in terms of the way the ride feels, or of course the shape and size and the cabin itself, but even that's kind of indicative of what the electric will bring us. Still nice to finally get a chance to get a feel of this subcompact SUV here in the European market. The new 7-speed DCT dual-clutch gearbox works well, though it can be a bit slow on the quick downshift in comfort mode. So as is typical of many cars these days, the Kona has the eco, the comfort and the sport drive modes, and as is typical of me and very cliched of all of us testing cars, I'm pretty much staying in sport mode. The Kona's ride quality is good and it handles very car-like since it's not a tall SUV to begin with. The Kona also corners reasonably well and its road driving manners are actually pretty impressive. All-wheel drive is optional and you can also go with the standard 16 wheels or opt for the 17 or 18 inches. Now there's an upside for Hyundai in letting us drive this car today, and that is just a nice display of everything that's latest from the brand in terms of engineering, design, and just overall attributes, material quality. So like I said, that's an upside for the company. The downside, I don't want the Creta anymore, I want this car. Big downside. But given the Creta's massive popularity and the fact that the next generation has already gone into development, expecting the Kona in India is futile. Sad really, since it's such a surprising, sharp and sexy package overall. While I was in Turkey, I also got my hands on this. The facelifted Tucson compact SUV. The car was showcased at the New York Auto Show in April and has been slowly making its way into markets worldwide. Turkey just got it last week. The car gets more road presence with sharper angular headlamps and DRLs. The wider Cascade grille, a revised set of bumpers and new fog lamps as well. The rear gets new tail lights and the reflectors have been moved up into the tailgate. Overall, the changes make the car appear bigger and more SUV-like while retaining its style and good looks. Inside, the central console gets an overhaul with that new floating touch screen similar to the one I showed you on the Kona. The air vents have also been moved out and the dash is well finished, slimmer and very sophisticated now. The plastic quality is very much improved too. There's also a revised instrument cluster and an electronic parking brake thrown into the mix. While Hyundai has confirmed it will definitely get to us, expect the Tucson facelift in India only in the second half of 2019.